Good day to each and everyone. I am Ira Betil Kalag. I took up Bachelor of Science in Criminology at the University of Bohol, City of Tagbilaran. So you can see in this slide my photo, the logo of the institution, and the Philippine flag. And thereunder is my ORCID number. So this is the coordinates of the University of Bohol, located along Dr. Cecilio Putong Street, Tagbilaran City. Today, I am going to present the study entitled Lived Experiences Among Selected University of Bohol Third-Year Criminology Students on Online Class During Pandemic. As students who were also affected by the COVID-19 pandemic, we came up with this study because we want to hear and address the voice of every student who experienced online classes during pandemic. And to that purpose, we performed this study to learn about the dilemmas and combat neck experiences participants in the COVID-19 pandemic online program had. And as a result, we'll be able to develop recommendations that will provide excellent advice to schools and universities on how to cope with students' quality education in an online class amid a pandemic. And for the background of this study, we have COVID-19 pandemic affecting the entire world. World Health Organization created a pandemic plan as to adapt social distancing, and universities and colleges resorted to online education. The objectives of this study is to assess students' lived experiences on online class during pandemic, to seek answers on students' challenges on online class during pandemic, and to propose recommendations or suggestions to improve service delivery of a quality education. So this study is anchored on the following theories, namely FOA and Kozak's emotional processing theory, which discusses the dynamic processing model of anxiety disorders and the mechanisms underpinning their recovery through effective treatment or natural improvement. Next is Dewey's concept of experience, which provides a holistic approach to education since it finds interaction between the human being and the world. It considers all aspects of human existence. It uses the world as a methodological starting point rather than being an individual or mental reality. Experience is a cumulative historical and cultural phenomenon. So next we have Muhammad's theory. According to Muhammad's theory, taking online courses impairs students. A reduction in students' progress and success associated with choosing online college courses rather than regular on-campus classes. Students lose enthusiasm to participate after spending too much time online learning. They are also fatigued due to sleep problems. Next, we have David Cope's experiential learning theory. The basis of experiential learning is that the best way to learn anything is to do it yourself. Those memories stick with you and aid in retaining information and facts. The premise of the experiential learning cycle is that each person has a distinct set of learning characteristics prevalent at different stages of experiential learning. And we have Rogers' protection motivation, which defines the individual level behavioral reactions in health-threatening situations. The theory examines the motivations for taking protective measures and splits the causes into threat appraisal and coping appraisal. So for the methodology, and we have here the research design. It employed a qualitative method in phenomenological approach. For the research environment, University of Bohol, Tagbilaran City, Bohol. And for our research participants, we have 15 participants from third-year criminology students in the University of Bohol online class during pandemic. 9 participants underwent focus group discussion, and the 6 participants experienced in-depth interviews. And for the research instrument, we utilize an interview guide supplemented and recorded via Google Meet. For the data gathering procedure, a transmittal letter was submitted for approval to the Vice President for Academics of the University of Bohol and the Dean of the College of Criminal Justice. For the ethical considerations, to ensure that the ethical consideration has been properly addressed, the paper was submitted for ethics review and interview guide for validation. For the trustworthiness of research, information from the interview and observation were recorded and kept confidential at all times. Now we have the result and discussion. On the lived experiences by the participants, or the advantage, we created 4 themes, namely character development, independence, less intensity, and time management. On the challenges encountered, or the disadvantages by the participants, we created 4 themes, namely slow internet connection, numerous activities, and desolation. And on the recommendations and suggestions, we created 2 themes, namely provide pre-recorded lectures and lesson tuition fees. For the advantage, we have here the character development, wherein online class has developed students' character, for it enhances their skills in socializing with one another, even in a virtual or an online setting. Next is independence. The fact that students undergo online classes, they learn to become independent and manages to learn on their own. Next advantage is less intensity. Students in an online class had lesser pressure for having flexible learning modes and schedules. And then we have time management. Students in the online class were able to value and manage time as to spending time for learning and having quality time with their family. And next is the disadvantage. We have here slow internet connection. So due to the location and changing weather condition, students encountered slow, lost, and at some point lack of internet connection. Next, we have numerous activities. Students in the online class received numerous activities that they could hardly handle at a short period of time that pressures and stresses them. And then we have here desolation. Online classes uses technologies and gadgets to access online learning platforms. But it is also evident that students can easily access and browse other tabs for entertainment purposes that somehow distracts and shifts their focus. Now we have the recommendations and suggestions. First, we have provide pre-recorded lectures. Students in the online class suggest that teachers should provide their pre-recorded videos discussing and explaining the lessons for the students to better understand the subject matter. And next, we have lesson tuition fees. Students suggest that the institution would lessen tuition fees in an online class so that students would have a continued access to education in these trying times where everyone is affected. Now we have here the conclusions. So the findings of the advantage aspect and the lived experiences by the participants, they build up character development to strengthen self-esteem of each individual. They find themselves more independent and having less intensity while engaging in planning on how to deal schoolworks, having time management, more organized with set goals and priorities. And on the disadvantage aspect, on the lived experiences by the participants, there was slow internet connection that enables them to stay focused on their school activities. Having numerous activities at a time was one of the factors in completing schoolworks. Though it cannot be denied and control the way the participants react toward a certain situation, the researchers observed how they were dismayed in their challenges experienced. The positive reciprocal of this phenomenon is the fact that the participants are sincere in their intention to totally gain knowledge. The willingness of the participants to learn amidst COVID-19 pandemic also helps them to gain more knowledge, which aids them to stay focused to their goals and desires in life. And in line with this, participants' suggestions and recommendations to improve the service delivery for quality education is to be provided pre-recorded lectures to enhance their understanding. This will also solve the confusion problems of the students toward a particular topic, which also encourage them to study the lesson well. The findings of the study further manifested a positive outlook with regards to minimizing the tuition fees. This will, however, boost the emotional aspect of the students in relation to financial matters. Now we have the recommendations. Based on the findings and conclusions, the researchers offer the following recommendations. For the institution to make extracurricular and academic activities more fun and enjoyable to students to lessen the level of stress. For the teachers to improve their teaching skills and service delivery so that the students will have the courage to participate and accomplish their assigned classworks. For the parents to have quality time with their children, allowing them to express personal matters. And for the students to set their priorities and goals in life, to engage more in activities in online class and strive hard to fulfill dreams. And these are the references cited in the conduct of our study. Today, I would like to extend our deepest thanks to the University of Bohol for allowing us to conduct our study entitled Lived Experiences among selected University of Bohol third-year criminology students, an online class during pandemic. To our dearest participants who with utmost patience agreed and helped us in the data collection. To everyone who became part of this study, to our advisors and faculty, and to the organizers of this conference, I am greatly privileged to present our study to this 5th Asia-Pacific Conference on Interdisciplinary Research. Thank you and have a good day.